Hey everyone, so this is the Top Fin Tooth and Fin beta tank. This is a 2-gallon tank. This is one of my favorite beta tanks and is my favorite Top Fin beta tank. So it has these teeth here, and there's actually some down here, you just can't see it because of the color of my gravel. It has the awesome top fin up here, so it makes it look just like a shark, at least in the blue. There's also a few other colors, I believe, including like pink, but I think the blue is going to be the best if you want it to actually look like a shark. Alright, so again, it is only 2 gallons, but it has the dimensions of 11.3 by 6.2 by 9.5 inches, which if you compare it to this tank here, which is a 3-gallon Marineland Contour 3, this has dimensions of 9 3/4 by 9 3/4 and 9 1/8 inches. And part of that is actually taken up by the filter here. So again, this is 3 gallons where the top fin is only 2. But you see the dimensions are very close to each other. Especially if you get rid of the where that filter is, it'll be even smaller than that. So for being only 2 gallons, this has very nice dimensions to it. Because length and width matter more than height. Another reason why I really like this tank is the filter that is on this guy. So it just has a top fin filter, but as you can see from the current, it is not overwhelming by any means. See how little the flow is. It is actually a perfect filter for betas. I have had other tanks from Top Fin that have the same filter, and in those tanks it is also an excellent filter. It does a good job at cleaning. Helps keep your tank looking nice and clean. Yet it does not push your poor beta around, which is trouble for a lot of these smaller beta tanks, as the filters are just too strong for them. This Top Fin does not have that issue whatsoever. Also, the top of this, so the actual top here, is very, very nice. Again, it has a really cool look to it with the actual fin here. Sorry, you can't see this too well, but it has a feeding flap here which stays shut when you don't want it to be open. And actually in the very back, I can't really show this off too well. There are, I believe, only 2 spots for cords to come out of, and those are the only 2 openings on this entire top. And what that means is the evaporation from the water evaporation is very, very minimal, and almost no water evaporation happens. Whereas if you compare to other small tanks, so this is the Marineland Nook 3. You can see it has this big gaping feeding hole, which is nice. Over here there's a spot for the filter and some cords, but all that room means that water evaporates a lot quicker. I mean, it probably evaporates about double, triple the speed of what the top fin, tooth and fin, evaporates at. So very, very nice. And of course, nothing is perfect in this world. And my one minor complaint is I wish the LEDs were a bit brighter. So if you compare it, so this is the side view, of course. Compare this to, say, the Nook here, or again the Contour. See, these other tanks are just quite a bit brighter. I mean, this one still is very sufficient. It still looks nice. It just isn't as bright as other small tanks are. That's my one minor complaint. But these LEDs, which there are 3 of them here, do a very good job at growing very not hard to grow plants. So I have moss on a vine, which is actually from Petco. It is growing pretty well in here. I mean, it's actually growing very well in here for the amount of lighting that's actually in here. Then also moss balls, which are not dying off either. Again, these are very easy to grow plants, but it is still being able to do it, which is very awesome, which I really do like. I just wish the lighting was a bit brighter for my own likes, but again, very, very, very minor detail. Another cool thing about the lights is it is color changing. It is 3 or 4 colors, and I'll cycle through them here. So you have multiple modes. You can do how it is now, which is cycling through them. And if you want it on a certain color, so say I want it on green, I click the button once, and just this. Now it will stay green. Now if I click it twice, so one more time there, it will go. See, it should stay to this color, which is like the white light, whitish yellow light, which is what I usually just keep on. But a very cool feature again. Again, this is my favorite top Fin Betta tank, and is one of my favorite Betta tanks in general. Just a very cool tank. Some very nice features to it. It's held up very well. I mean, I've only had it I think for probably a couple of months, few months, whatever. But I mean, there's like really no scratches in it. It actually doesn't get algae too bad. So there's actually a little bit here that I actually just noticed, but it's not too bad at all. Very excellent tank. I would highly recommend this tank. Again, yes, it's only 2 gallons. A lot of people would say 3 gallons or 2.5 gallons is your minimum. You're only off by a gallon, or excuse me, you're only off by half a gallon from that. And the dimensions of it, though, to me make up for that half a gallon, because it's not very tall, but it is wide and long, which are more important. So yes, highly recommend this tank. Thank you all very much for watching, and hope you guys have a good one. See you guys next time.